Hello brethren. Today we want to take a look and remind you of the days of Noah, and why will God destroy the earth again? Sin and the wickedness of man. Let's look at these points. Deception 1. The serpent needs no introduction. He was created by God and has rebelled against God, in an attempt to become equal to God himself. He is depicted as a fallen angel, who was expelled from heaven at the beginning of time. Now just some background: angels were created by God, spoken into existence. Be alert and of sober mind. Your enemy the devil prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. God created Lucifer with supernatural abilities and talents for music. He was God's right-hand angel. He wanted to overthrow God, and God threw him and his angels out of heaven. Deception 2. Genesis chapter 3 highlights how Adam and Eve fell into temptation of the evil one by accepting the forbidden fruit. Adam and Eve were created out of the earth, and the breath of God was breathed into them. They were created as adults and not born into the world like you and I. God instructed them not to eat from the tree of good and evil, and said they will die. They didn't care, as the serpent had told them otherwise. The third deception is the offspring of Adam and Eve, which was Cain. Abel was a shepherd and Cain was a farmer. Cain and Abel both present offerings to God. Cain brings fallen fruit off the ground as an offer, while Abel brings the firstborns of his flock of sheep. According to the story, Abel's offering is deemed worthy above Cain's, and in anger, Cain kills Abel. Cain was banished from his home, and was forced to wander the earth for the rest of his life. Yet even Cain's exile was a reflection of God's boundless mercy. After Cain murdered Abel, God allowed him to start a new life in a different place and marked him to prevent him from being killed by others. Deception 4. The days of Noah. When Jesus says that it will be the same as it was in the days of Noah before his coming, he is referring to the fact that the world will be just as wicked and evil as it was during the time of Noah. After destroying wickedness, God made a promise to all creation that he won't destroy the earth with water again. Matthew 24 verse 37. Deception 5. Lot's wife, biblical character, a disobedient woman who was turned into a pillar of salt for looking back to see the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah as she and her family were fleeing. Why was she destroyed? When God saves you from sin and removes you from sin and instructs you not to go back, you need to be obedient. God honored Abraham's plea, and Lot also was a faithful man, again the mercy of God. Deception 6. Moses and the Red Sea. However, after the children of Israel had safely crossed to the other side, the waters suddenly began to close in on Pharaoh and his soldiers, and they all drowned. Why did it take the Israelites 40 years to cross the Red Sea? Their unbelief and rebellion became so bad that God ordered them to wander in the wilderness for 40 years. Why did God destroy Pharaoh and his men? He still persisted in rebellion against God. The Red Sea crossing was not a trap set by God for Pharaoh, but was a form of deliverance for God's people. Lastly is Deception 7, which are these days. These days are same as the days of Noah, but far worse. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, the earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. God does not deal lightly with sin, and his judgment upon the sinner is death. The wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is life through Jesus Christ, our Lord. If you have not given your life to Christ, God is calling you today. Redemption is near, the gift of grace is free. We are saved by grace through faith and not works. If you have and have strayed along the way or have not accepted Christ, please do urgently